Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Luxury Microfiber here in Dallas, Texas. Before I even begin, I'm going to cut this hood in half. No, not with a razor blade or a saw, but I'm going to cut it in half with a piece of tape, and I'm going to apply DPC armor on this side of the hood and leave the other side bare so we can kind of get some water behavior. What is its beading like? What is its water sheeting like? So I figured I'd do that for you guys today. Before I get there, I want to talk about something. So last night what I did to kind of prepare for this video this morning is I decon washed it. I used a strip wash. I went in and I clayed it, and then I used a paint prep so the surface is actually absolutely virgin clean, so the DPC armor on this side of the hood will bond really nice and strong. I want to talk about this thing. This is a Griot's kind of it's a synthetic clay disc. It kind of replaces clay bars, right? It's got this synthetic material. Lots of you guys have seen this before. I found this in AutoZone about 2 weeks ago, and I said, let me try it. I broke it in using it on all the glass on my Infinity. I used it on all the glass on my pickup truck, because a lot of times you have to break these in. There's kind of a protective membrane on the outside of this synthetic surface. I then clayed this hood. One of the reasons why I did a decon wash and clayed it is I didn't want anything on there. I wanted to try to get anything that might be off the paint before I put the DPC armor on it. What is my point as I ramble on? Folks, if I bring you in on this paint, I'll show you something. You see how this has this unique kind of, I don't know what you would call this, but kind of like a raised pattern on it? It's left its pattern all over my paint. Folks, I used a really nice clay lubricant with it. It was highly lubricated. I broke it in on 2 cars all the way around on its glass, and it's left its pattern. Let me show you this. Kind of freaked me out when I came out here this morning to kind of get ready for this video, so I wanted to talk about it. I don't know, now my paint is really trash when it comes to defects and swirls. We're going to polish this thing, probably the springtime when I'm not so lazy. But boy, I hope the camera's picking it up. If I get into the right light, it's really interesting. The little checkered pattern that's on this thing is now all over my paint. It will not come off. I tried using a body solvent, a paint prep. It's all over it, and it won't come off. I'm definitely going to have to polish. I just wanted to make a quick little statement there. I don't know if I'd recommend that one from Griot's. I've seen some synthetic clay discs do that before. They don't all do it. But boy, this one did it rather quickly on the paint, and now I gotta, if you can kind of see beyond all the swirls and crap that's on the paint, you'll kind of see that checkered pattern, hopefully. Folks, I have no reason to lie. That just really freaked me out, so I wanted to talk about it. I don't think I'd recommend this one from AutoZone, made by Griot's. But anyway, let me go up here. Sorry guys, I know this is the worst part of the video when it's shaky, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this panel in half with tape. So I've washed it, I've clayed it, unfortunately, with that clay disc from Griot's, and then I used a body solvent to make sure there was nothing on it. I'm gonna put a piece of tape down, and we're gonna put armor. I guess we'll put armor on this side of the hood since I'm right-handed, and we'll see its water behavior here. This car has got to be paint corrected here pretty soon. I'll do it in the spring when I have time and I'm not so lazy. But let me put that down. I'm going to use DPC armor full strength on this side of the hood. The way I like to use it is I spray it into a microfiber towel, and then I buff off with a separate towel that's absolutely dry. Well, let's go ahead and get this all mixed up here. I kind of put a lot on that towel to apply it. It's okay. We'll just rub it in here. Now what I'll do is I'll take a separate towel and just lightly buff off. What's really nice about armor, even with its high concentration of silica within it, very easy to buff off compared to a lot of other silica sealants on the market. Some of them can really fight you and leave their streaks behind. You'll sit here forever trying to buff the paint. But anyway, I tell you what, should I put a little bit more on it? Nah, that's all I'm going to put on there. Now, my second kind of recommendation, what I'm about to do is hit it with water. Folks, I don't recommend you do this. The reason for that is my silica, my Sio2 spray, takes about 8 to 12 hours to fully cure on the paint if you're using it at full strength. But we'll hit it with some water, see what the water behavior is like. Somebody's going to ask me, what if we do come into contact with water before it's fully cured? Nothing crazy. It's not going to hurt the paint. It's not going to get streaky. You just might see durability and longevity kind of drop a little bit. To be honest, I've done it, and I don't really see much of a difference, but my chemist and formulator says there is a curing time for silica, so we're going to go with it. All right, let me hit it with some water. Let's see if we can get some fancy water behavior here. Now what's very interesting is you can see this area here is kind of sheeting off water, right? It's kind of hydrophobic. That's because it's been completely clean. It has no contaminants on it. It's been hit with a body solvent. The paint is absolutely smooth. There's a lot of trickery on YouTube where they'll use something that leaves some residue behind, and they'll put the product on this side of the hood and wow you with water beading. But that's kind of the way it works. When you have absolutely clean, silky smooth paint, you are going to get some hydrophobic effects. But you notice it doesn't sheet as fast as the Armorcide does. And what I want to do with the Armorcide is overwhelm it. Just keep pushing water on it. Keep pushing water on it. I want to see how well it sheets off the water. You can see that side is sheeting pretty well, but it should because the paint's absolutely clean and silky smooth from claying it. But I want to overwhelm this, and then I'll bring you in and look at these beads that are on this paint. It's kind of very difficult to overwhelm it, to soak it too much with water. It just wants to come right off the panel. That was one of the things that was really important to me. I like water beading. It's cool to look at, but I want more of that water to get off the car. Water beading can be a little problematic. It can leave water spots. I have some water beading here. They're nice, but I want it to try to dry as well as possible or sheet off. But if you notice, when I try to overwhelm the panel, the armor is just fighting it completely. It won't let the water stay on the panel. Kind of cool, isn't it? I'll do the same thing over here with overwhelming it. You'll see that the water wants to stay on the panel longer. You'll see it just takes longer to sheet the water off there because we really overwhelmed the panel. It's going to take a long time. Let me do it again, then I'll bring you in. I know guys like water beading. They like sheeting. I'm more about shine and gloss. I'm more about durability. And I like water sheeting because it just makes it easier to keep the car cleaner for longer. I'll try to get it to create some beads for us. I'll back the pressure washer wand up and lightly mist it so we can get some effect from it. I'll bring you in, take a look at that. Here's the water behavior or the beading on it. If you get the beads or the flow of water just right on the panel. Kind of cool, but I don't want that. I want it to fall off the car. I was able to kind of duplicate that experience by just holding my wand at the right length, the right distance from the car, and just shoot enough water on it to give us beading. But you'll notice that the beading is very tight, very symmetrical. The water beads are pretty much, I don't know what you would call them. They're pretty much nice and round and circular. That kind of float a lot of people's boats. I think it does, right? All right, let me back this up, and I don't know. I always find these tests to be kind of silly, but they're fun to watch, right? that is the water behavior of DPC armor with Dallas Paint Correction, Sio2 Spray Sealant. I absolutely love it. Let me change my nozzle. Let me go to something else. Hey, I'm having fun here today. It's a Saturday. Might as well keep having fun with it. Let me change my nozzle to a 40-degree nozzle. I think I had a more, what did I have, a 35-degree nozzle on the power washer? You guys hanging in there? Are you going, Scott, please turn the camera off? Now, if you wanted to, you ever see this new trick that Meguiar's is doing with their ceramic wax? They tell you when the surface is wet. That side's still having a hard time sheeting water, but that's cool. It's not protected. Let me do what Meguiar's likes to do with their ceramic wax. Get the surface wet, take my Sio2 spray, put a couple spritzes on there, right? And then hit it with water. Watch the hydrophobic effect. I'm going to tease Meguiar's here at the moment. How much do you think was actually able to bond to the paint by just spritzing it on there and hitting it with water? You notice Meguiar's ceramic wax, right? You have to put a foundation first. You got to put a nice strong base coat that gives you some integrity. My next question is that when you go back and spray it on a base coat that has full integrity to it, how would you know the second spray you're putting on it, the second application, is actually bonding to the paint if you've got great integrity of the base coat? I'm going to review Meguiar's ceramic wax. I'm going to tell you some of the things. I love Meguiar's, but there's one product I'm having a very difficult time falling in love with because it's filled with a lot of hype. It's very hard to overcome the panel with a lot of water. It just wants to push it right off. Some of those beads, whoa, they're too big. I'm teasing myself here. But I love you all. I hope that helps you out. Somebody wanted to see that. Actually, hundreds of emails, people wanted to see it. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you so much.